What's going on, you Spurs faithful? Welcome back to the channel where we bleed lily white and white. Is Tottenham Hotspur finally going to splash the cash? That's the million-dollar question on every fan's lips. With October 2025 in full swing, the transfer rumour mill is churning harder than ever for Spurs, and we're diving deep into the most exciting names linked with the club. Could a game-changing signing be just around the corner, or are these just whispers in the wind? Stick around because we're breaking it all down. First up, the big one. Everyone's talking about Santiago Jimenez. The Feyenoord striker has been absolutely electric in the Eredivisie, and it's no secret that Spurs have had scouts at De Koop for what feels like every other week. He's a pure goalscorer, a proper number 9 who lives and breathes for finding the back of the net. He's strong, fantastic in the air, and has that poacher's instinct we've been craving. The stats don't lie. Over a goal every other game in a competitive league is serious business. The big question, of course, is the price tag. Feyenoord knows they have a gem on their hands, and they won't let him go for cheap. We're hearing figures in the region of 60 to 70 million pounds. Now, that's a serious investment, the kind of money that historically makes Daniel Levy a bit twitchy. But things feel different now, don't they? The ambition is there, the stadium revenue is flowing, and there's a real sense that the club understands we need to make that next step. Jimenez would be a statement signing. It would tell the rest of the Premier League that Spurs are not just here to compete for the top 4. We're here to challenge for titles. He's the kind of player who could turn those frustrating 1-1 draws into 2-1 wins. The link-up play with Son and Maddison would be a joy to watch. It's an exciting prospect, but the fee remains the major hurdle. Now, let's shift our focus from the attack to the heart of the defence. A name that keeps popping up is Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice. We were linked with him before, and it seems our interest hasn't faded one bit. Todibo is a modern centre-back through and through. He's quick, comfortable on the ball, and reads the game brilliantly. He is exactly the type of defender that fits Ange Postecoglou's system. Someone who isn't afraid to step out with the ball and start attacks from the back, and who has the pace to handle our high defensive line. Watching him play for Nice, you can see his confidence. He's a leader on the pitch, constantly organising the back line. Pairing him with Mickey van der Ven would give us arguably one of the fastest and most technically gifted centre-back partnerships in the entire league. Imagine that recovery pace. No striker would fancy their chances in a foot race against those two. The rumoured fee is around £45 million, which for a player of his quality and age profile feels like smart business in today's market. He's entering his prime and has experience in a top European league. It makes a ton of sense. The only potential issue is competition. We're not the only club looking at him. Manchester United have been long-term admirers. So, if Spurs want him, we'll need to act decisively. This is a deal that could genuinely solidify our defence for the next 5 years. Let's move into the midfield, an area where we're always looking for more depth and quality. The name on everyone's radar right now is Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall from Leicester City. After their promotion, he was instrumental, a real engine room player. He's got an incredible work rate, he covers so much ground, and his ability to carry the ball from deep and drive the team forward is exactly what we need, especially when James Maddison isn't on the pitch. Think about it. He offers a different dynamic to our current options. He's got that tenacity and grit, but he's also technically very sound. He can pick a pass, he can arrive late in the box to score a goal, and he never stops running. He's a manager's dream. Ange loves players who are relentless, both with and without the ball, and Dewsbury-Hall fits that mould perfectly. The narrative is that Leicester would be reluctant to sell their hometown hero, and rightly so, but every player has a price. If a bid of around £40 million came in, it would be very difficult for them to turn down. He knows the Premier League, he's English, and he's at an age where he's only going to get better. This signing would add so much energy and stability to our midfield rotation. It's one to watch very closely. Now, for a more creative, maybe slightly riskier rumour, Jota Silva from Vitória de Guimarães in the Portuguese league. For those who don't follow the Primeira Liga, Silva has been a revelation. He's a tricky winger who can play on either flank, loves to take on his man, and has a real eye for goal. He's got that flair, that unpredictability that can unlock a stubborn defence. He's not a household name yet, which could work in our favour. This feels like a classic Spurs signing, doesn't it? Plucking a talent from a European league before they become a superstar with a superstar price tag. The reported fee would be much more manageable, probably in the £20 to £25 million range. He would provide fantastic competition for Brennan, Johnson and Dejan Kulusevski. His directness and pace would be a huge asset, especially coming off the bench against tired legs. Of course, there's always a question mark over whether a player can make the step up from the Portuguese league to the intensity of the Premier League. It's a significant jump, but his raw talent is undeniable. If our scouting network believes he has the mentality to adapt, he could be an absolute bargain and a fan favourite in no time. Let's circle back to another striker option, because you can never have too many goals. An intriguing link is with Jonathan David at Lille. He's been on the radar of top clubs for years, and his contract situation makes him a very interesting prospect. He's a different type of forward to Jimenez, less of a physical target man and more of a mobile, intelligent forward who excels at running the channels and linking up play. His movement is exceptional. He finds pockets of space that other strikers just don't see. David is a proven goalscorer in League One and for the Canadian national team. He's quick, a clinical finisher with both feet, and he has a fantastic footballing brain. He could play as the central striker or even in a wider role if needed, offering great tactical flexibility. Given that he'll be entering the final year of his contract next summer, Lille might be forced to cash in this January or risk losing him for free. This could mean we could get him for a cut-price deal, maybe around £40 to £50 million. That represents incredible value for a player of his caliber. The Premier League's pace and physicality would be a test, but he has all the technical attributes to thrive. He's a smart, modern forward who would definitely improve our squad. Finally, we have to talk about a potential homegrown target, Eberechi S. from Crystal Palace. This one is the dream for many fans, isn't it? We've seen firsthand how he can single-handedly change a game. His dribbling, his creativity, his ability to glide past players as if they're not even there, it's pure magic. He brings that spark, that X factor that very few players possess. Pairing him with Maddison in the creative department would be just unfair to the rest of the league. However, let's be realistic. This would be the most difficult and expensive deal to pull off. He's Palace's crown jewel, and they would demand an astronomical fee, likely north of £70 or even £80 million. Plus, he just signed a new contract not too long ago, putting them in a very strong negotiating position. While it's a tantalizing thought, and he would undoubtedly elevate our team to another level. The financial outlay required makes it less probable than the other targets we've discussed. But in football, you never say never. If the opportunity somehow presented itself, you'd hope the club would do everything in its power to make it happen. He's a generational English talent. So, there you have it, a deep dive into the names swirling around N17, from a powerhouse striker like Jimenez to a Rolls-Royce defender in Todibo, an engine in Dewsbury Hall, a flair player in Jota Silva, a smart forward in Jonathan David, and a creative genius in ES. It's clear the club is targeting players who fit Angzi's system, technically gifted, intelligent, and with a great work rate. Which of these signings would you most like to see in a Spurs shirt? Are there any other players you think we should be targeting? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I read every single one, and I love hearing your opinions. It's an exciting time to be a Spurs fan. The ambition is there, and a couple of key additions could be the final pieces of the puzzle. Let us hope Fabio and the team can work their magic and bring one or two of these incredible talents to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Thank you so much for watching, it really means the world. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with all the latest Spurs news and transfer analysis, make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, come on you Spurs.